Right now, a quarter century into the third millennium, we're living through one of history's great inflection points. The 20th century was an era of boundless optimism, and we emerged from it believing we could preserve its achievements without reliving its mistakes. And in some respects, we've succeeded. Yet nowadays, this optimism is fading. Today we face unprecedented global challenges, widening social divides, and the growing sense of being collectively out of tune with the deeper meaning of existence. It's fast becoming clear, in fact, that we're nearing the end of an era, and we find ourselves standing at a crossroads, unsure of the path ahead. So how did we get here, and where do we go next? That's the question at the heart of this channel. To answer it, we'll be asking the really big questions about life, society, and the deeper forces shaping our world. We'll be looking through multiple lenses in an effort to piece together a map to guide our next steps as a civilization. This is, of course, not a new quest. People have always created maps, not just of land and sea, but also of meaning and purpose. Back in medieval Europe, there was something called the Mappa Mundi, a symbolic world map that blended geography, religion, and myth. This type of map was not intended as a navigational aid, but rather as inner guidance for people to find their place in the universe. We are not that different from our medieval ancestors, and we too need a Mappa Mundi to help us tell what's real, what matters, and where we belong. In the modern age, science has become the beacon of Western civilization, and it's widely assumed that its foundations are rationally self-evident and complete. Yet, as Thomas Kuhn made clear not too long ago, our scientific understanding is vitally dependent on the frameworks or paradigms we adopt, and our choice shapes both what we notice and how we make sense of it, often without us realizing. This is why two people can look at the same fact and come to completely different conclusions, as I'm sure you've experienced at some point in your own life. But paradigms don't just shape scientific perception, they shape entire civilizations. The modern era's dominant worldview has brought remarkable achievements across many domains, but these have come at the cost of severely damaged ecosystems, lost cultures and traditions, and new existential threats. This means that we cannot rest on our laurels. The modern scientific worldview has its growing share of problems, and we must continuously question its validity. In fact, the central predicament of our time is whether we can consciously evolve our models of reality or whether we will have new ways of being imposed on us through deepening civilizational crisis. History suggests that cultures that continuously adapt to changing circumstances maintain their vitality, while those that cling to obsolete frameworks tend to stagnate and sometimes don't even live to tell the tale. If, as it seems, our paradigms have reached the limits of their usefulness, then the time is ripe for us to formulate new paradigms that can then be incorporated into a revitalized Mappa Mundi. In my view, this project is absolutely essential for human and planetary thriving at this time, and it's never been more urgent to engage in it. Now, one component of the Mappa Mundi project will be to explore the limitations of our current worldview with brutal honesty. Another will be to venture far and wide in search of new ideas and pearls of wisdom. We'll then aim to articulate a worldview that addresses the negatives and incorporates the positives. We'll draw insights from history, philosophy, science, myth, and lived experience. I'll be sharing reflections, weaving together ideas, and speaking with scholars and original thinkers from around the world. Our approach will be philosophically rigorous yet radically open-ended. We will scrutinize every dogma and foundational assumption while daring to entertain even the most unconventional perspectives in our quest to improve on existing assumptions. Here are just some of the themes we'll be exploring. First, civilizational complexity, how our spectacular success might be engineering our own downfall, and why strategic simplification matters more than technological sophistication. Second, our relationship with nature and technology, especially how our comfortable isolation from the natural world is creating new forms of disease and alienation. Third, ecological sustainability, and why we keep trying to control the uncontrollable instead of working with and learning from natural systems. Fourth, governance, the tension between centralized planning and local autonomy, which echoes ancient philosophical debates that remain relevant to this day. And fifth, identity and meaning, how modernity has eroded our sense of rootedness while making us vulnerable to socially destabilizing forces. Throughout all this, we'll be wrestling with classic philosophical questions about the nature of reality. We'll be looking within ourselves to better understand our own nature as human beings and we'll be tackling the practical questions of how to act wisely in light of the insights we gather along the way. But to explore all these questions, I'll need your help. So please join me on this journey by subscribing to the channel, by liking and sharing its videos as widely as you can, and by joining the conversation below. I truly value your input, which will shape the evolution of this project. Below, you'll also find information on joining the Mappa Mundi mailing list, connecting with me on social media, and reading or listening to the channel's content on other platforms. Last but not least, please consider supporting the channel, whether financially or by contributing relevant specialized skills you might have. Thanks so much for being here. Let's map this journey together.